Welcome back to Emmeline Darlene. As you can tell, that is not me. That is my mama. I am Christy, and we are so excited to be sharing the second installment of the letters, the World War II letters of Jimmy and Pat Meaders. He was my great uncle, and he was more like a granddaddy to me. I loved him more than anything. And his dream was for us to share these letters. He wanted to write a book, and my desire is to make that come true. And so it's just an honor to share these with you. This is the second installment. And so if you have not watched the first video, you might want to go back and do that, but you don't have to. You can just jump in. Basically, Jimmy is still in the hospital and he and Pat are corresponding. They have a mutual friend named Evelyn, who you'll see her picture today. And yeah, that's where it picks up. And I've added some pictures and things in that I think you'll find interesting. So enjoy.
March 24th, 1942. Dear Pat, I received your letter yesterday afternoon and enjoyed it a lot. Yes, I am still in the hospital. I think I told you I was getting heat treatment every morning for my neck, and that seemed to be doing a lot of good. I don't know whether Evelyn told you what was wrong with me, but if she didn't, I will. My back has been giving me trouble, and also my neck. I got my back hurt in a football game Thanksgiving Day of 1933. I think he was around 18 or 19 then. And it just lately started bothering me. So you never know when you really are lucky in a game or not, for you may be, like my case, that it affects you years later. How is Evelyn getting along? I hope her arm is better and she's been able to go back to work, as I know it does a lot to keep her from thinking about Roy being away. Tell her I said hello and not to stop writing. I'm sending you a picture of myself. Here's hoping you will like it. I did get to go home over the weekend. The doctor said he believes if I got out in the open, it would do me some good. That is, if I didn't overdo it. I went over to see my cousin here in Jacksonville, and they were going up and asked me if I wanted to go along, and of course I took them up. I figured I'd better take every chance to go I can, as we don't know what day they might decide to ship us out of here. I'm glad to hear that you like outdoor sports, for I sure do. Maybe someday we can get together and have some fun. I like fishing, hunting, baseball, football, boxing, horseback riding, boating, bicycling, and plenty of others. Still looking forward to the summer and you and Evelyn spending your vacation here. I think we could have lots of fun together. You said that your girlfriend got married. Well, it seems as if that has been a fever that most of the young people has been catching lately. I am the only one out of a club of 30 boys and 5 girls that hasn't got it yet. Me and my kid's sister has a bet on to see who will be the last one. He actually lost to that bet because his kid's sister, Minnie Ruth, who was actually 5 years younger than him, got married this summer in 1942, just a few months after this letter, and he married Aunt Pat in 1943. Gee, but it sure is pretty here today. It makes you want to just get out and go hiking into the forest or down to the beach or something. Wonder what causes spring to affect people more than any other season of the year. Well, as this is all there is, and there ain't no more, that's an old Navy saying, so I will say so long. A pal, Jimmy. April 1st, 1942, Sunday p.m., home. Dear Jimmy, after working until midnight Thursday, I came in to find the most pleasant surprise, the picture of you. You'll never know how much I appreciate it, and the letter, too. The next day I bought a frame, and now it's on my chest, and Roy is on Evelyn's. The other night I was working in our room, and every time I looked up, you two were watching me. Seemed as if you were really there. I guess it is because I admire Roy so much, and you are a friend of his. Evelyn has told me so many nice things about you, but I know you must be a swell person, and the picture has convinced me of that fact. I'm having some pictures made this week of myself. I only hope they are half as nice as yours. Yours will be mailed out as soon as I get them, so don't think for a moment that I'm failing down on my word. Gee, we have been having some of the nicest weather. I only hope next Sunday is pretty. It happens to be my day off, and a group of us are planning to go to Sunday school and church Sunday morning, and then up on the mountain and around the country to take some pictures. Kodak. Easter to me is something sacred and peaceful. Only wish you could be with us. I'm awfully sorry that you were having to be in the hospital, but now you're paying for the honor of the football hero. I'm glad you're feeling better. My only sister is a night superintendent at the Norwood Hospital here in town, and of course there's no one like her. My work is a combination of PBX, clerical and general hotel work. The person on duty takes all complaints, sees they're taken care of, rents apartments, makes bills for those checking out, takes care of a small confectionery, which we have for the convenience of the tenants, have charge of those maids and a few other boys. Well, I must go this time. Don't be angry because I didn't write sooner. Always, Pate. April 2nd, 1942. Hi, Pat. How are you getting along this pretty spring day? It sure is pretty here today. Not a cloud in sight. This is the kind of day that makes you want to get out in the country with Mother Nature. I received your letter yesterday morning and was glad to hear from you. Glad to hear you like my picture. Say, do you think Roy and I favor any? The fellows in Norfolk that had guard duty on the clothesline watch could not tell us apart when we went out there together. They were always calling him Meaders and calling me Pounds until we went out there together one day. You say that Evelyn has told you a lot of nice things about me. Well, I appreciate that very much, and I hope I will always be able to live up to them. I do try to live up to the nice things that are said about me, but every now and then I feel like I fall short of those goals. As far as me saying nice things about Roy and Evelyn, about the best way to put it is that they are the sweetest couple I've ever met and had the opportunity of having and knowing them as friends. Gee, but I wish I could be there and go with you all Sunday to the mountains. Easter Sunday should mean a lot to everybody, but I'm afraid a good many people look at it as the day to look pretty, wearing new clothes. To me, Easter means more than Christmas in a way, for it means that there is a living Christ that one can go to in trouble and seek guidance and protection. I am glad to hear that you go to Sunday school and church. If all the young people felt it that way, this would be a much better world, don't you think so? I don't know whether Evelyn has ever told you about me in that respect. I have been active in young people's work for about 14 years, and I really enjoy it. That is one thing I miss here. Since I have been in the squadron, I have given that up as we work on Sunday, and so I don't have the opportunity to go. I was president for 2 years of our young people department at our church in Macon and was head of the mission board for the city of Pensacola for a year. So you can see by this that I love that kind of work. I'm telling you this for several reasons. I don't want you to think that I am the goody-goody kind that you hear so much about, for that is always said about a person who objects to everything in life about fun and happiness. I believe in having a good time, but in the right way. There is so many ways that a young person can have a good time and be clear of any talk about himself or any group, but so many fail to see it. I guess you will think this is a sermon, so I better stop it for a while. I'm going back to duty Tuesday. My neck is still a little stiff, but doctor believes if I get out in the sun quite a bit, it will get back to normal again. I'm still taking heat treatment for it during the weekdays. That is the reason I have had liberty for the last 2 weeks. Well, this is all the news I will say. So long. Write soon. A friend, Jimmy. Monday, April 13th, 1942. Dear Jimmy, I was very pleased to receive such a nice letter last Monday, and I'm glad to hear that you're up and around once more. I know you must enjoy working much more than lying around. Seems as if time passes away without any accomplishments when you're ill. Today I'm just doing a little odd jobs because tonight at 11 p.m. I go on to a new position. I left the apartments and I'm going to operate at the Norwood Hospital where my sis is. I wanted to be a nurse, but fate was against me, it seems. However, I'll be right in the middle of the hospital and almost turns around on the switchboard. At least they depend a great deal on the operator for locating different people for emergencies and such. I think it will be much more interesting to me than the other was. I'll tell you after a month. Ha. The people over at the apartments were so nice that I hated to leave anyway. After all the plans for Easter, I spent a pleasant day with my parents about 50 miles down US 11 in the country. The flowers are blooming and everything is budding so nicely, and it makes one feel like a different person. Evelyn had told me that you made she and Roy go to church with you, and I'm glad that you did. I too was once very active in BTU before I began working 7 days a week. Then I couldn't very well go except on my days off. I think that you and I have the same ideas about life concerning Christianity and those things that mean so much to one, and yet so many don't realize it. I was reared up in a rather strict religious home where the father is a deacon in the Missionary Baptist Church at home as long as I can remember. Also, I can never remember going to church without hearing him pray at some time during the service at the invitation of a minister. All of the children think of him as ideal. However, sometimes I feel that I don't live quite up to those ideals. I assure you that any compliments that Evelyn makes about a person, they certainly deserve them. She's that type of person. She just doesn't go in for flattering people. By the way, she says tell you hello and that she still loves you. She hasn't forgotten you, but she's working 6 days now and stays on the go from about 2 a.m. until 8 p.m. at night. Roy, in my mind, is just one more ideal person. I don't think you two resemble so much in the pictures, but you may be built enough alike that you resemble in that way. Well, Jimmy, do forgive me for having waited so long, but that's me, I guess. I've always been in a hurry and never get to where I'm going. Do write soon because I really look forward to your letters. Always, Pat.
Okay, so that was the end of the next installment of the letters. Let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer those. And I also thought I'd show you a couple of the albums. There are probably 40 to 50. We'll not be reading all those, don't get scared. But I thought I'd show you a couple, so hold on. Okay, this is a mess, but this is some of the albums. This is where we are now, just to give you an idea. Now, some of these are not, like there's a few from Evelyn and Roy, things like that, but they're full of things like this where there's pictures intermingled and articles. Everything has the envelope. They're amazing. Then I even have some more down there. These are, seeing how they're all like marked? That was how he let us know the things he loved. Okay, so you can see there's a lot to go through. I'm going to get these out as quickly as I can, but bear with me because it's a lot to read and transcribe, but I am having so much fun and it's so cool to be able to like share this with other people. And thank you for caring. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you sign up so you get notifications for when I get the next one uploaded. And then just let me know if you have any questions or tips, ideas, all of those things. Anyway, y'all have a great week and we'll see you soon.
Forevermore, I like to share that.